we are just going to go straight into it. Wowzers. I mean, absolute wowzers. The messages from my family and from Facebook Marketplace are coming through thick and fast. Welcome to the show. My name is Iain Lee.
I'm Katherine Boyle.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
We've got so much to say. I haven't set the alarm, so we're going to... right, okay.
Go on.
First of all, we would like to thank our new Patreons, of which we have Finn. Well, Finn Adams, I think, has been a Patreon before, but he's come in bang on the £13 tier. And what that means, Finn, and you've asked me, when is the £13 Zoom meeting? I'm thinking next Saturday at some point.
Yeah.
So Saturday the 26th, Finn. So thank you, Finn. We've also got Dull Udden Cow, and we've got the Wolf, and that's it.
Well, that's enough.
The best ones, the best.
They're the ones we were hoping for.
They're the best ones.
Yeah.
I feel nauseous.
Yeah.
Wearing my paws t-shirt. Look, it's
Show them the full beauty of it. Look at that.
It's a cat. I love this. I'm feeling nauseous. So we'll see how it's going on.
Oh.
An update. I haven't evacuated my bowels for 3 days. Right,
And now you're up to date. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, well, I was staying at yours for a couple of days, so I couldn't do it there.
You're so weird.
But also, I am now displaying ultimate mastery over my body.
Right, no, I don't think it works. Right, that incel idea of keeping hold of your testy doesn't work with shit.
Ultimate mastery. The keeping hold of your semen and all of that, that's easy. You just don't knock one out. Finn, we just mentioned you. I don't know if you're here. It's going to be on Saturday, the £13, if you are indeed the 13-pounder. The fecal matter is the real challenge. And so far, 3 days.
My youngest said that she's never been to the toilet that way on a school trip ever, like a stay-over school trip.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that she's the most proud of in her life. She said she purposefully ate loads of bananas when she went to Normandy to clog it up.
I have made a promise to your daughter, who is now 13, that when she's 21, I'm taking her on holiday to North Korea.
Okay. She's definitely going to get arrested for stealing poster.
Paul Bodell's here.
Yep.
And it's great to have him here. Paul Bodell says, and I will censor the language. No, I won't. I once drove 11 miles home to have a shit, as I wouldn't have a shit in a shopping centre toilet. I can shit in a shopping centre toilet like there's no tomorrow.
Can you?
Yes, I can.
Oh no, I couldn't release.
Because I couldn't.
I need to be comfortable and secure.
I can't have anyone in the cubicle next to me.
Yeah.
Right. And I can't allow myself to break wind. If I'm going to break wind, I have to pull my cheeks apart. So we're going there.
Oh my God!
So that it doesn't make a noise.
There are some things I don't need to know. And also the words pulling my cheeks apart, I don't want to hear together ever again.
I would have to put water in the bowl to soften the
No,
drop.
you don't do water. You put paper in the bowl.
Paper in the bowl.
That's a trick.
To soften the drop. What a show. And Finn, who's just subscribed, immediately asked for a refund. No refunds. Refunds.
When we were potty training my eldest, we had to make sure that she knew that when she was on the potty, she could release, right? And so we used to, honestly, for a laugh, we used to say you have to go, ooh, ooh, right? So she used to sit on the toilet doing that at home. And we went to America to see my sister who was living out there.
Is this the trip where you surprised her by hiding on the balcony?
No, this is a different trip.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first trip. The second trip that my eldest was a little bit older. Was it?
Catherine's thinking. That's what the silence is.
It might have been. Anyway, we went to a restaurant, and she needed to go to the toilet. And as you know, they've got very high, like almost knee level barriers between the toilet stalls.
There's
in
a big
America.
old
Why?
hole. You
Is that
could
because-
crawl under there.
I think that's the point, isn't it? So you don't get stuck in there.
Oh.
Anyway, so she's
Don't
in
think
there
that's
with me,
horrible, people crawling under toilet barriers.
and she sat on the toilet, and she said, she was quite posh, my eldest, once upon a time. She said, "Don't worry, Mummy, I'm going to drop it quietly." Because we were out. I told her that when you're out, you've got to be respectful and drop it quietly. "Don't worry, Mummy, I'm going to drop it quietly." And from next door cubicle, I heard someone having a good old chuckle.
You ever spoken to someone in another cubicle?
Yeah, because women often pass paper to each other. True. Have you got any paper over there? Yeah, hang on a second. All right, I'm putting it under now.
So,
That happens.
I'm having terrible trouble with Lucy Apples integrating with my other 3 cats. Patty and Lucky primarily. Big Boy don't give a care. So, we've hit the reset button. No more Fosters for a while. Hit the reset button. Lucy Apples now lives in the living room, right? And I watched the Jackson Galaxy, the Cat Daddy.
Which I suggested quite a while ago and you poo-pooed.
No, I didn't. I said, well, I'll get round to it. In about 20 years, when he's old, he's going to look fucking awful.
Jackson?
Yeah, because he's bald, big sideburns, big beard. He's going to keep that look, and he's going to have the big saggy ears from the earrings. He's going to keep that look, and he'll get really thin, and he'll look diseased.
Oh my God. But that's not what he's marketing. He's marketing his prowess as a cat
No, it's not. It's
whisperer.
image. It's image.
Oh, it's not.
It's image. Anyway, so we are now, in terms of Lucy Apples with the others, no eye contact. It's a no eye contact house, right? So what we're going to do, she's going to stay in there at meal times. Her bowl is going to be put on one side of the door. The other's going to be put on one side of the door. And they,
So they're aware of each other's
smell.
presence, but they can't see each
They
other.
smell. Then at some point, you have to open the door and have a barrier.
Yeah.
So I was just on Facebook looking for a baby gate, stair gate.
I don't think that's going to be effective.
It's just for meal times. It will be effective because I will be monitoring it.
Okay.
It will be effective. Trust me.
Because Jackson uses a screen.
Oh, he said, why don't you take the door off and put a screen door in?
Yeah.
He goes, I've done it. It's easy. I thought, you can fuck off. Don't tell him I said that. And so I'm on Facebook Marketplace, right? A stair gate, new 25, 29 quid. On Facebook Marketplace, 20, 25 quid. So just before we came on the show, I messaged a guy. He's got one free in Aylesbury. Is it still available? Do you have measurements? Yes, it's just a standard stairgate size. There are different sizes.
Well, there aren't really.
No, there are.
No, because you unscrew the
No,
things and screw them in.
You can get different sizes. Trust me, I've been looking at stairgates all day. Could I collect it tomorrow morning? Sure. But I have the what 3 words up, which is the location thing. So someone could turn up and just take it. Ah, okay. Best check with me tomorrow to check it's still there.
Yeah.
That's not how the system works.
Is he going to leave it outside then?
Oh, shit. Can you do the show on your own for an hour? It's first dibs.
You would think.
He's left it outside, hasn't he?
He might have.
Is that where we're at today as a society? Just leaving it out. By all means, leave it out with a little post-it saying, take me.
Free to a good home.
As you know, I struggle to walk past anything that's outside with, take me. But that is not how Facebook Marketplace works. It's first dibs. Sometimes it's first dibs, but if the person can't collect for 3 days and someone says, I can come and get it now, you're in.
I do not have a Facebook Marketplace story, but I have some Vinted conundrums recently. So the first one was, I put some boots on Vinted and they were... I know people are weird about second-hand boots and stuff.
They're men's shoes.
Some people are very weird about them. But they were a pair of quite nice Dune, if you're familiar with the brand, chocolate brown knee boots. They're too high. Since lockdown, I can't be arsed with heels, frankly. And the times I've worn them, I've thought, these are making my feet ache. The end. Which is why I've not been wearing them very much. I've barely worn them anyway. So I put them on there. They were on there for 40 quid, and I'm thinking they'll offer me 35, and I'm cool with that. Sure enough, offered 35, accepted. Then a flurry of questions. Can you measure the circumference of the calf for me? Can you do this? And then she disappeared.
What is the shoe size? It's a size 8. Thanks.
Well,
that's all you need.
Knee boots are tricky because if you've got, if you've got
calves,
some
big, large calves.
I've got quite shapely calves, and
Your
I have to.
calves are absolutely perfect.
I've got basically most of my body. 3/4 of my body is chest to arse, and then the rest of it, the last quarter, is legs. So I'm very low to the ground, really, and so my calves are sturdy, very muscular and sturdy. Built for walking. But
why don't you do any then?
Can't be asked.
The legs are built for walking. The rest of her don't.
I'm built for trotting across, windy landscapes and stuff. I'm built for the cold and built for the wind and the wuthering. I don't like doing it, but that's what I'm for. That's what evolution's
Hang on,
suggesting.
is Wuthering Heights not a place then? Is Wuthering
Yes, it is.
a verb?
I think Wuthering. I'm not sure it is. Maybe we've adopted it because of Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights is a place. It's the farmhouse.
Well, it's definitely a book.
Yes, it's the farmhouse.
And a song. Okay, it's a book.
Graham Campbell, same physical percentages. I think it might be a Gaelic thing.
It's
a Gaelic thing.
It's
a
a
play.
farmhouse.
Yeah, it's a Cliff Richard vehicle. It would appear. My mum went to see it.
He
She said
grew a beard for that, didn't he?
Yeah, she said he was shit in it.
Yeah.
She said there was a lot of. She went, oh my god, he doesn't half love himself. Even when he's not on, he's on. He's standing in the corner of the stage having a think like this. So anyway, yeah. Then I get someone else make me an offer, and I accept. What a silence. Then I get someone else make me an offer, and I said, all right, I've accepted one person. I'm waiting for them to come back. Can I hang on? And she went, well, I'll pay you the full price if you want. And at this point, there'd been a couple of hours, and I went, oh, sod it, you might as well have it. Thankfully, the other woman was fine about it when she came back. But I feel like on Vinted, until they've paid you, the deal ain't done, is it?
No, it's open. It's opening. And Vinted is not for people like you and I because we're too kind.
Yeah.
Here's what you need to do. Someone comes in and says, I'll pay you the full price. And accept that, block the first person. Block them.
Block them?
Yep.
No, but I've got full 5-star reviews.
Block them. They can't review you if you've blocked them.
Oh, no, I feel like that's mean.
Oh, I've blocked people.
Yeah, you bloody love it, though. You've got a mean streak.
People. You block them.
No.
Then the problem is solved.
We're fine. We're cool.
I've not got my little bracelet on. I bought a little.
It's upstairs on the Kazi.
What are you doing in my labby?
I went for a wee.
Oh.
I've not got the hang-ups that you have. I need to go. Did you know
I used to wee in car parks?
Yeah, till quite recently. You were still doing that when we were at Three Counties, weren't you?
Sorry?
You were still doing that when we were at Three Counties, pretending that you were looking in your bonnet and actually you was doing a wee. Disgusting, actually, when you think about it.
He said, weak bladder. Mastery over my body. I got this bracelet and it says IL for KB. It's not you. Yeah, and
Phew, that would be awkward.
it was on Facebook. It was on a local Facebook page. I shouldn't have run so fast. I feel nauseous.
Yeah.
And it was
way to shake your poo out.
It was a mum saying, my little girl is trying to earn money so she can enter a dance competition. Oh. She's selling these. I thought, oh, do you know what? I'll have one of these. £25. £2.50. £2.50. And I've helped a 7 or 8 year old girl live out her dreams of going to a dance competition with this. And I got pink.
All right, while we're talking about purchase boasting.
Go for it.
I think this might be the best thing I bought for a while, right? Look, I'll show you what it is. See, it's got like... Can you hear that? It's a fidget toy because I have quite a lot of fidgety students in my class. Some diagnosed ADHD, some of them just really fidgety, and we treat it the same. It's a miracle that sometimes they end up concentrating so much better. So I bought a load of these. I had those little like blocky ones with the buttons on and things, but they don't half click. And then I was on TikTok yesterday and I saw they had a load of these. I didn't buy them from TikTok shop, but they had a load of these, and they're sort of, plectrum shape, various sizes, various finishes. Some of them are smooth, some of them got ridges in. But if you're a fiddler, 10 out of 10 would recommend. And I'm using this man as a guinea pig, and he loves it.
I didn't say I loved it. It's not really my thing, if I'm completely honest.
Well,
I have a coin. I'll
have it back then.
There you are. Speaking of fiddlers,
yes.
The Who have
sacked Zach Starkey.
Zacked Starkey is a headline I haven't seen anywhere, and
I
it's
can't
obvious.
sing to this is one of the quotes.
Yeah. He's a miserable old git, isn't he, Roger Daltrey? Brexit-loving Roger Daltrey surprised that it's more expensive for him and his band to tour Europe after he voted for Brexit. Brexit.
Yeah.
Roger Daltrey, miserable get. Speaking of bands, you came and saw my passion project last Saturday.
Yes.
The Manchester Academy 2, the man from Del Monte, played to a sold out. It's not sold out in London. It's not sold great. Sold out 950 capacity venue.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? I know
Really,
you enjoyed it.
I really loved it. There was a strange vibe in patches.
There was
but
a
the
dark
vibe was generally nice.
Let me find a photo. Where did I put this photo? Because there were some photographers, and they sent me some of their photos. And there's a photo of. Can I copy that?
Dave Dogface says, I was at the gig. Zach was fine. Daltrey was a deaf old sod. Ah, so maybe Grandad's blaming everyone else for his problems, is he?
I think so.
Dearie me. Oh, yeah, you did mention that, didn't you, Dave, the other week? Because we asked about whether Daltrey's teeth, you could hear Daltrey's teeth when he sang.
Let me show you. Anyway, the band was great. I got to introduce them on stage, and I absolutely shit myself, and I stumbled over my words, and it was a very disappointing intro.
I didn't notice that.
Oh, I stumbled terribly. I'll tell you what I felt. I felt fat, and I felt unfunny when I was stood up there. And I thought, I don't like the person I think I have to pretend to be when I'm on stage. I don't like that guy.
Do you know what it is?
Go on.
You don't have to max shout as much as you used to, and so
Yeah.
it feels weird now.
And then I came off stage, and Catherine was stood at the front because this gig wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for me, right? I paid the deposit, which was a lot of money.
And also, you asked a cheeky question that got them back together in the first place.
And I'm the one that had a bedroom full of money. Anyway, so Catherine was stood there, and I came and joined her after the introduction, and two women went, oh, no, because I stood in front of them. Oh, no. And one of them went, whether she thought I could hear or not, she went, just because you're famous doesn't mean you can fucking stand anywhere you want. And I turned around and went, oh, okay, right. Thinking,
I thought you handled it really well. I didn't realise you were upset by it.
It really upset me.
If you'd been upset by it, I would like to say I would have said something, but I probably wouldn't.
It really upset me in a way that I've not been upset by someone else's comment for a long, long time. And it was, I've always had a thing about being, from like the very first gigs, about being tall in a gig and blocking other people's view. I felt weird because I felt fat and unfunny on the stage.
Yeah.
I was really upset that, listen, most of the people there don't know me and didn't know that I had played a part in this gig even happening, right? And so I can't remember what the point was of that. The famous thing got me.
Yeah, you found it embarrassing.
I found that embarrassing. And it did create a little bit of darkness for me. However, the gig was fucking amazing.
It was lovely.
They sounded great. And I've got to find a picture where you will see. I don't really know how Dropbox works. Hold the line, please, caller. Some of these pictures are amazing. This is from
oh, they're so good.
This is from a woman called
Gracie.
I want to get her full name. It's Gracie Jones. Gracie Hall, excuse me. You can't see these. Let me show you some of these. Bottom left. So
I hate it when people are horrible to you. What would I have done? I would have shot her a look, and I would have checked in with you. I don't think there's any point trying to challenge people like that.
No.
Is there?
No, there's no need. No need. That's the hammer I want. But I did feel bad. I'm trying to find a very specific picture.
Having spent a lot of my life trying not to get in people's way, I've realised now you just got to take up your space, and you're just as entitled to do that as anyone else.
All right, let me just ignore this. I know, but I don't know how to I don't know how this would download it. I don't know how this works, but there's us.
Oh yeah, look, these women in the foreground were giving it.
They were
all
having the
night.
time of their lives.
They
Her
were
name's
loving
Zoe. I can't remember the names of the other two. They had their own little mosh pit.
They did.
But there is a better.
And that woman had come from Prague.
Yep, there was someone from Prague. There is a better picture. I mean, look at that, man. The last gig was...
Oh, look at that picture.
The last gig was great, 500 people. But this, I went up and I came back down. I said, oh my God, it looks proper up there.
Yeah.
Wait, look at that, man. Let me download. I don't know how you do. Can I download?
Yeah, download there.
Where? Oh, yeah,
Second
download.
one.
Let me download that one. There's just one specific one I want to show you. But this is, look at that. We're sort of in there somewhere. But there is one picture that will, it's not that. God, I love these people so much. There's one specific one coming up. She took so many. We're nearly there. That's a great one, isn't it?
Yes.
Lovely Sheila. We're getting there. Where is it? Hold the line, please, caller. Trust me, it's going to be worth it for Catherine because she's not seen this picture.
Oh, God, is it terrible?
No. It is me in absolute rapture. Let me... sorry, I should have sorted this out before. I have downloaded it somewhere, but I don't quite know where. So we'll get there. They sounded so fucking good. And I did... There's us there. There's you.
There's me.
And I did have about, 50 people afterwards come up, shake my hand, say very nice things. Oh, where is this picture? Sorry for the podcast listeners.
But we know that you're quite famous in Manchester.
Well, what's the famous story?
When we were walking towards a pub and this bloke came sort of crashing out of it and went, "Fucking hell's here, Lee!"
Where is this goddamn... Well, it's now become a mission, and you know I'm not going to be able to find it. I won't go through them all again. And podcast listeners, I do apologise. We're basically steaming through... There it is! That's not it!
Oh, you look very handsome there, though.
I do look hot, don't I?
Yeah.
Do you think I look hot there?
Yes.
I got my hair cut. It's what made me get my hair cut was feeling fat and unfunny. There is a better picture. God, this really is poor podcast listening, isn't it? Oh, God. Why do people have to be so talented and take so many pictures? It's a black and white one, I think. So let's go for the black and the white. Trust me, it's going to be... Oh, we're right at the end.
Yeah.
I think we missed it. We're not going through it again. No, we missed it.
Describe it for me.
I'll find it after the free bit. I'll find it after the free bit.
Oh, the merch as well. Flipping it. People were walking in straight over. And what was lovely was...
Look at this.
People were walking in. They were sort of, late 40s, early to mid 50s somethings. And as soon as they saw the merch, they were 15 again. Oh, I want a T-shirt like that. I had one of those back in the day.
All of that was living in my eldest son's bedroom. And... at least half of it went, probably a bit more.
I'll tell you another beautiful detail. Katrina, she and her friend were selling their merch. They were on that merch stall virtually all night, weren't they? She was the original merch girl back in the day. People loved seeing her, didn't they?
She was also Mike's girlfriend for some of it. And a lot of the songs are about her, good, bad and indifferent.
I said that.
And her husband was there for the previous show.
She said it was a little bit awkward.
Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I'll find that picture for the people watching us, the Patreons, in a bit, because it is a great picture. They're playing on London the 25th. The tickets, so if you want to come along, that would be great.
Oh, look, Dave Dogface, talking about Daltrey, he asked for the drums to be turned up at one point because he couldn't hear them. Zach uses an electric kit by request of Roger and Pete, so the sound levels are entirely down to the sound guy.
Here's the thing. He won't have been sacked because of that.
No.
You don't get sacked for being 30 years in the band for having a bad night. You haven't been sacked for that. There's something else.
Internal friction.
Musical differences.
Yeah.
Musical differences is the thing. I did have some other bibs and bobs. We went for a spontaneous meal the other day, last Sunday, spontaneous meal in this place. And I went, they're doing roast dinners. I'm going to get a roast.
Mm-hmm. It's a place we walk past quite a lot.
It will be bust in 3 months. Nothing ever survives there because it's quite a big thing.
Well, it's always a restaurant, but it's always a different restaurant when we walk by, like one of those magic shops in a fairy story.
Yeah.
Right. So But sometimes you walk by and they've got like a terrace above, so it's got sort of fairy lights. It looks kind of nice. Whatever it is, they always have that kind of thing going on. So it has caught our eye, hasn't it? But we decided to go in this time around.
Went and had a roast. But the roast was entirely brown.
Yeah. There was like,
There was
you
no
know,
peas.
sometimes you get the roast dinner and it's the brown bit and then they bring a bowl full of veg.
They forget to bring...
I feel like the bowl was missing.
What's it called? That
Farm
place?
something.
Risborough Farm. Risborough Restaurant. It was, and also, I don't think there were any...
Farm and Field.
I don't think there were any potatoes. I don't think I had any potatoes. Where's the menu? Have they got a menu on here?
Yes, menus.
Menus. Let's have a little look at the menus, guys. I mean, listen.
Sunday menu.
It was really tasty.
Veg.
They missed it off, didn't they?
I think they did. To be fair, she did have to come upstairs because we were tucked away, weren't we?
Here we go. Beef, all served with seasoned roast potatoes, carrots, parsnips, fine beans. They didn't bring the plate. They didn't bring it up.
They forgot the bowl, didn't they?
They didn't bring it up. Fuck. There were no potatoes. They come separately.
Different bowl, innit? You knew it.
Fuck.
You knew it.
But I wasn't confident enough
To ask.
say it. Couldn't say it.
No.
That's really pissed me off. That has.
Meanwhile, I had the sea bastard and it was perfecto.
Oh, that's really pissed me off.
I know what'll make it right.
What?
I'll make you a nice roast on Sunday.
Yes, please.
And I've got fine beans. I've got carrots.
Yes,
I've got
please.
cauliflower. I've got broccoli. I've got taters. I'm going to do roast potatoes. I've got lamb. I've got mint sauce. There'll be gravy. And Yorkshire puddings.
Sophie says, what was actually on your plate? Well, it was the three meats. I went for there was beef, there was pork, and there was turkey, and there were parsnips. Yorkshire pudding.
Yeah. Gravy. That's it.
I feel like an idiot.
You
I feel
should.
like an absolute idiot.
You shouldn't. We'd had a very late night. We were not
That's true.
We were
So
subpar.
we got home very, very late. But yeah, I don't like the person that I feel I have to be when I'm stood on stage. I don't like it. And I felt it was the greatest honour, you know, because before John Ronson used to introduce them. That was the thing, hence the good evening Wembley. And I was kind of hoping they'd ask, but I wasn't going to say.
Yeah.
Can I do it? So my friend Danny kind of put in a good word. But yeah, I didn't, and yeah, that comment knocked me for 6.
It got you just as you come off stage feeling like that. That's what it is. Normally,
Yeah.
you wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
She was just being cheeky and not funny. And a lot of people were quite drunk, weren't they?
There was a dark vibe in some pockets of the thing.
And there was little elements of people being overly familiar.
Yeah, there was.
You know, cheeky.
There was.
But
It was magic. I'm so glad you came. It
I
meant
loved it.
so much having you there because they are, you know, it was time travel. You're stood next to my friend Malcolm, who I used to go to school with, and we've reconnected of this band. And it was our first gig at 14 and a half, and suddenly I'm 51 3/4, and I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at them at the side of the stage. And yeah, it was very special. I booked that gig on a Saturday night just so you could come. That's a true story. We were offered...
I should have told that woman to fuck off then.
You
I
should have
said,
done.
Do you know who I am?
We were offered Thursdays and Fridays coming out of the wazoo at the Academy too. And I said, it's got to be a Saturday. Well, if we do it, it won't be till April. Book it.
Yeah. And I'm
For
going to
you.
do the London one.
Huh?
I'm going to do the London one.
Coming to the London
Yeah,
one.
I've got a T-shirt now. Might as well, eh?
I'll be I'm hoping the merch stand is in the same room as the band because I'm working the merch this time. I'm going to take limited merch. Limited.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on a fanzine.
How's that looking?
It's looking good. The website I'm using, the interface is a little clunky. I'm not going to show these freeloaders. We're after this, we're going to slow down a bit. We're going to find that picture, show you the fanzine. We're going to watch an El Dorado. Oh my God! Do we do it in the free one? Yeah, we do.
What?
I'm going to play you the most obnoxious, because we'll go on for a little bit longer, because this is actually important. Skype is coming to an end, and there was a Skype voice note, right, from someone that we know.
Oh.
It is the most, I'm assuming it's an attempt at humour, but it's way too overfamiliar. It's offensive to you and me, and it's got a really horrible word in it. And I'm going to play it. You have been warned.
Oh my God.
And it's a real, can we, yeah, you can hear in your ears, right? It's a real surprise, guys. It's a real surprise. First of all, I just need to test.
Someone turned that we weren't expecting.
I think someone's trying to be like friendly. I'm just checking that you can hear. Hang on a second. Here's Seals and Croft. You can hear. They got us, Seals and Croft got us a little copyright slap on the wrist last week. So here we go. Right. It's got in the middle of it. It's got a really offensive word. Okay, a really offensive word.
Oh my God.
Are you ready, Catherine?
I don't think I am.
It's horrible. It's someone. The reason I want to put it in the free one is because I want them to hear it, and I want them to question their choices.
Oh God.
Fuck's sake, Iain. Honestly, you doing Skype and all that bullshit, making the world a more inaccessible place with blind people. The lack of blind people on your show, like, I know you don't like radio, and
now, as opening
that?
gambits go, it's the young lad who's blind. I can't remember his name. It's not Hassan, is it? He's phoned us a few times.
It might be.
I think it might be. Anyway,
Oh God.
as opening gambits, it gets worse.
Oh God.
As opening get right. Okay, well maybe it's just a really bad judged.
but honestly, you can still keep up with equality and diversity. Oh my God. Anyways, Iain, Catherine, it's Hassan. I know.
There we go.
Okay.
It was, and this is me, and the joke's over, or is it? Because if the joke is over, then he's a prick.
You hate me because I'm the brown kid with no eyes.
You
can still keep
need to
up
hear
with
that because this is
equality
directed
and
at you.
diversity. Oh my God. Anyways, Iain, Catherine, it's Hassan. I know you hate me because I'm the brown kid with no eyes.
That's defamation.
You know what? I was just catching up with your podcast,
Don't listen anymore. Don't listen.
and I think I used to message you about, doing something in radio. I run a podcast which absolutely no one listens to, apart from a bunch of few spazzos.
There's
Oh
the
my
word.
God.
I did warn you. I wouldn't open with it.
But I shouldn't say that.
No, you shouldn't.
Oops.
Just because you're blind doesn't give you the right to use that word or to be a prick.
Jesus. But I always wanted to do it, and I was always discouraged, and I don't know if you ever said it, so you can cut this out, but
Oh, we're playing all of it, Hassan. We're playing all of it, buddy.
I don't know if it was you or someone said to me, oh, you'll have to be only middle-class white man if you want to get into radio, otherwise you've got no chance. And
No. We wouldn't have said that. We would have said historically that was the case.
Well, I would have. I was trying to think. I wouldn't have said it that way.
No.
But I have had occasion to point out that radio is predominantly white middle-aged men.
Yeah.
You look at BBC Local. You look at Talk Radio, LBC. It's predominant. There have been some shifts in the last 4 or 5 years, but it is still predominantly. But
I was thinking about that on the way over, actually. The fact that for a few years, I was the only woman presenter on that BBC radio station during the day on the week.
Yeah.
Everyone else was sort of shoved to the weekends. And the furore when I asked to be paid the same as the guys, or even anywhere near it. I recognised that I wasn't as experienced as some of them, but I was more qualified than a lot of them, and I was doing the production job as well. And I was thinking about that, and why on earth wouldn't they jump at that? Why on earth were people overtaking me that weren't as experienced? Why on earth would that happen? But anyway, we might have had a conversation like that.
Also, I mean, I don't know the LBC schedule anymore, but off the top of my head, I can't name a presenter of colour. I'm sure there will be a presenter of colour at the weekend, but off the top of my head,
still mostly fellas, I would have
it's
suggested
O'Brien,
as well.
Ferrari, Dale, Snorbrick,
Yeah.
Bull.
Sheila Fogarty.
5 to 1.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we might have had a conversation like that, but here's the other thing, Hassan. I don't know whether you know what I do for a living these days, but I certainly would not discourage someone who does not fulfill that criteria from making a difference and getting in there. I encourage kids from all kinds of backgrounds to say that they need to claim their spaces, but it's still tricky, and let's not pretend it isn't.
We continue.
And it made me so sad because I love radio. Like, that's how I learned English. That's how I grew up, like, following sport. And even now, like, I'm moved on to podcasts now, but it's my life. It's how I feel calm.
Is it where you learnt to be a rude prick?
Are we being blamed for you? Hang on, but you're doing it.
Are
we being blamed for him going into podcasting rather than radio?
It's a world which I can feel safe in, and believe it or not, you two are my place of sanity.
And there we go. So the whole first minute and 24 seconds was an over-friendly joke. It did not work. You don't speak to people like that.
It felt accusatory.
Didn't it?
And do you know what? If my boss had heard you say something like, I don't like brown people that can't see, I might have been in quite a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I know. Fuck it.
Exactly.
But it was so interesting because I'm going to continue that podcast once I've ended this call. But Iain, I'd be interested to know, you said that you're thank God that you're out of it. Why? Why?
Because I haven't got to talk to pricks like you for 3 hours every night.
If you need to ask that question, you've not been paying attention.
Tell me why. Catherine, keep ignoring me because I'm a brown, blind man.
Told you. You can't say shit like that, man.
Do you know what? I will ignore that comment because it's bullshit. But apart from that, your behaviour's been noted, my friend.
From Southwest London. I almost said where I was from then. Anyways, keep up the good work, and much love to...
No? Okay, thanks.
I can't fucking wait for Skype to close. Why don't you like Rex? I don't want to talk to rude, over-friendly pricks like you for 3 hours every single night.
Do you know what that is? Right, apart from that's really...
So, maybe I should have given you some warning on that. It's a very, very uncomfortable feeling. I heard that this afternoon about 4 o'clock.
I would hope that I would never give anyone that impression. I would hope that he's been... I don't know, is that an old callback to something that... I don't remember it, and that I'm hurt by that, and I would hope to God that no one else thinks like that, because it's certainly not who I am. And I don't think it's fair. Shit.
Isn't it horrible?
But that's one of the things I don't miss about being on the radio, especially late at night, because people get to the point where they feel like they have to, in some way, show that they're in on it or show that they don't think of you as being anything special. So they're fucking horrible to you. And I've seen people do that to you out in the wild, where they've obviously noticed that you're there and they feel like they have to say something, but they don't want to fanboy stroke fangirl, so they're just rude.
You're a prick. Your shows were shit, weren't they? Nice to meet you, mate.
You're still on the radio, never listened. That kind of stuff.
We actually have got his phone number. I'm not even going to do him the courtesy of phoning back to let him answer or anything like that. That call was really, really unpleasant. I should have given you some warning, actually. I just remembered it. That call was really unpleasant. You've made both of us feel incredibly uncomfortable, and you've come across like a dick. This is the end of the free bit of the podcast. Go to patreon.com/Iain and Catherine.
I would also suggest, as a former producer, that the language that you're using, thank God you haven't got a bigger audience, because you'd have got cancelled for that.
And we're not going to play the theme tune out. We're going to sit in silence. 30 seconds? You want to do 30 seconds?
Let you think about what you've done.
We're going to sit in silence for 30 seconds. I need to get a clock here suddenly. And if you're watching, you're going to see us sat in silence. And if you're listening, silence. Have a little think. Thanks for listening.